Hello, My Little Pony fans. I am Jimmy Lee, associate producer of uh, tabletop games here at Renegade. I'm joined here by Chris Chung, designer and developer of the My Little Pony Adventures in Equestria deck building game, as well as Trivia Fox, who will also be talking RPGs later on down the road. So let's start this off. My Little Pony Adventures in Equestria deck building game. I'm very excited for this. This has been in the progress for a long time. This is a fully cooperative deck building game and really does a lot to capture the experience of running around like Ponyville and Equestria and trying to solve all the major problems that are coming up. Chris, what can you tell us about this game?
Yep, exactly how you put it. You'll be playing either Twilight Sparkle, Rarity, Rainbow Dash, Fluttershy, Pinkie Pie, and I'm missing one more, Applejack. Can't forget Applejack. You can choose one of your ponies to be as in the game. They each have their own special ability, and you're going around trying to locate your friends in order to accomplish these tasks at various parts of Equestria and Ponyville, and you're trying to overcome several challenges that face your way. So it's a very neat take on deck building because you're fully working together. You can talk about what cards you want to grab for your deck, and you can talk about how you're going to get those sugar cubes that you need in order to win the game.
Yeah, so let's talk about some of these challenges that you're going to face. So our first slide is just a preview of what these challenge cards look like. So these final challenges are based off of like some of these like cool highlight moments of the series, just iconic story beats that are hard to miss.
Exactly. So these cards all come from season 1. So the main antagonist that you see in the show, Nightmare Moon, she comes about season 1, episode 1, and she's terrorizing the party, the big gala. So you want to ultimately try to stop her through the way of obtaining sugar cubes.
Yeah. So before we get more into like sugar cubes and everything like that, let's there's a couple of steps that we have to get to before you can stop Nightmare Moon. It's not like, all right, cool, beginning of the episode, we're gonna go ahead and stop Nightmare Moon right away. No. We got some hurdles to get over first.
Exactly.
So, our first hurdle, or some of these hurdles will come out completely randomly, and you're just gonna have to deal with it. So our next slide here, here's an example of a hurdle that you may face. We've got some parasprites. Now let's talk card anatomy a little bit here.
For sure. So for hurdles, there are levels 1, 2, and 3 hurdles that you see in the game. Final challenge is never going to be a level 1 final challenge. Are you kidding me? So what you need in order to do that is you need to acquire sugar cubes in order to defeat this hurdle. So for example, parasprites, they're really cute. They're really bad, however, because they're a nuisance on Ponyville. So you want to try to get rid of the parasprites somehow, lead them astray, just like Pinkie Pie actually did in the show, reprising her role as the Pied Piper. So if you overcome this hurdle by collecting 1 green cube per player, so if you're playing a 4-player game, you get 4 green cubes, you can overcome this hurdle and make your way onto level 2. If you do so, there's a reward for you. But if you don't complete that within a given cloud limit turns, you'll face a setback. So ultimately, you want to try to do this as fast as possible in the most efficient way possible.
Yeah. So how do we set back?
So it's the setback. This one says reveal the top 10 cards of the adventure deck. It's that's not that bad, but if you get any situations that are completely bad cards that can come out the adventure deck, then those will be put back into the deck, therefore creating a little bit more chaos for you to overcome. And then finally, you'll have to not only get green cubes for this hurdle, but the little chaos pocket in the bottom left right corner, that's another card that you have to flip over from the chaos deck. Ooh, scary name. And coupled with the sugar cubes, you also had to accomplish that as well. But it leads into how do you get all these sugar cubes and how do you get these resources in order to overcome these hurdles? That's a really good question that we need to uncover.
Yeah. So when a setback triggers is like you're limited by a certain number of turns. So if you look in the top left corner there, there's a ominous dark cloud there. As every turn that goes by, you're going to add more clouds to that number. When it reaches that threshold, then the setback occurs, bad stuff happens. So in the case of sprites here, it's going to be 2 clouds base, and then another 2 for every pony in the game. So if I'm playing with 3 players, then it'll be 8 clouds. We have 8 turns to deal with it before that setback occurs and bad things happen. Exactly. You'll deal with 3 hurdles and then the final challenge. Is that correct?
Yep, that's pretty standard. But as you mentioned before, every turn you'll generate a cloud unless otherwise stated. So this game definitely puts you against the clock because you're not only trying to overcome these hurdles in a given time to not finish to face the setbacks, but also every cloud that you go over the cloud limit on a hurdle actually adds to the final challenge. So not only are you advancing your turn clock, but you're also trying to mitigate how much clouds you're attaining the final challenge. If you hit certain limits of the final challenge, you're going to face some serious consequences. So cloud cover is a thing, and it's ultimately going to wreck your day if you don't accomplish what you need to do.
Yeah, so take too much time and the game is just only going to get harder and harder for you to deal with. So yeah, just do your best to address your problems and don't let them linger.
Exactly.
All right, very cool. So that's the goal of the game. We're trying to overcome these hurdles and eventually the final challenge. We talked about our starting characters. Let's take a look at one of the cards that we got coming up. So we got Twilight Sparkle on screen here, and very, very simple text here. Your character card just stays in front of you. It says in the game text there, starting side, and then additional game text, you can flip and play or pay 2 book, that is info in our game, to have target player gain 1 blue sugar cube. Want to break that down for us a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. So each of the main 6 characters have their own starting ability. So they each start on their starting side, and you can use this effect at any given time during your turn. So ultimately, if you do have 2 info that you have handy based on the cards you play, or when you collect resource tokens, you'll be able to use Twilight Sparkle's effect, and you'll gain 1 blue cube. Now, where it says target player, it means you don't have to give it to yourself. Because this is a cooperative game, you can actually give it to one of your teammates. So it depends who needs a cube at any given moment.
Trivia, I will give you like a bunch of blue cubes. Just here you go.
Thank you. Now I can get rid of, I can't get rid of pair sprites. Those were green cubes.
Those are green
but I'm sure there's something else I could do.
Exactly.
So there are 3 different types colored cubes in this game. There's green, pink, and blue, and they are all super glittery and super sparkly, and I love them. And yeah, it's adorable. Let's take a. There's the starting side, and it says flip here. So let's take a look at the other side here. And Chris, give us a breakdown.
Yeah, so with every good ability that you may have, there's also an ability that you need to recharge with. So she says pay 1 of each resource to flip this character to the starting side. Now, as Jimmy mentioned before, there is info, but there's also help and move. So you need to pay 1 of each of those resources in order to flip your character card over back to its original power. So there's a little bit of cooldown. You're not so overpowered that you'll generate 1 blue cube anytime you want. You'll need to kind of rest up and relax just a little bit.
Yeah, so it gives each of these characters a like cool moment where they can like show off their own signature special abilities or show off their talents, and not constantly do that to be able to overshine all of the other ponies at the show. So every player will have like a starter deck with their character card, and then along with that starter deck is a special character or special starter that is tied specifically to that character. So this is Twilight Sparkle's starter. Magic makes it all complete. I don't know about you guys, the theme song played in my head as I said that line. But if you look down the left-hand side there's the horseshoe icon, there's the book icon. Below that would be an arrow of a move icon. I'm sure we'll see another card with that icon later down. And then each of these characters' special starters has game text really specific to that character that really ties into who they are, what they do, and what their speciality is.
Yep. So basically the anatomy card, like Jimmy said, you have help on the top left, which is the little horseshoe. The bottom is the blue book, there in the middle and blue balloon ride. Then move is the little 2 that you see with the arrow. So those 3 currencies will show up on any given card in certain quantities. You also see on the Magic Makes It All Complete, there was a little star. Each card may have a little trait that you can also get a little bonus from. But ultimately, as Jimmy said, there is a lot of text that correspond to who you're playing as, and also the cards that you find in the adventure row that you want to buy. They'll feel like the character that you grab for your deck. And ultimately, you want to gain as many of these powerful effects to make certain combos that work well for you, whether you want to grab a lot of info, whether you like the power of draw. So Balloon Ride here, it costs 4 help to buy, and you add it to your discard pile, just like you would in a normal deck building game. When you play Balloon Ride, you'll generate 1 info, 2 move, and you may discard 1 card to draw 1 card. So you don't have to play all your cards in your hand. That's the key of this game. So if you have a card in hand that you can't make use of right now, you could actually get rid of that card and discard it to draw another card for your deck. So there's a lot of draw power in these cards.
Awesome. So I remember seeing in chat yesterday asking like, oh, is this pony in this game? Is this pony in this game? Is this pony in this game? There are a lot of ponies, but we promise we will get to as many of them as we possibly can. Like, I would love to have literally every pony in this game eventually. So, fingers crossed. There's a lot of time for us to do this, but I remember specifically seeing this next one as a requested character, or as a requested card. So we've got Doctor Who's showing up in the main deck here. You can buy him for 5 help, and this card is actually really good, like bonkers good. You can look down the left side column here, and he gives 1 help, 1 info, and 1 move, which is really great for just being able to flexibly buy or contribute to wherever you need. But the important part is target player gains 1 sugar cube. And we haven't said it enough yet, but sugar cubes are really cool because they help you win the game.
Exactly. And you mentioned that Doctor Who's is probably one of the most fan requested characters. He doesn't show up quite a bit in the show, but because of relations to a certain property, knock on that wood, he is very popular with the fandom. So we want to really highlight those allies who show up in Ponyville and Equestria, and to give them the love that they deserve. And Doctor Who's was one of them.
Very awesome. And just to assuage any fears, just because a pony appears as a ally in the main deck does not mean that they will never become a playable character in the future. Trust me, we've got a lot coming down for other future playable characters, because my favorite part about My Little Pony is that it's got such a long runtime that so many of these characters evolve over the course of the series, and there's really great character development. So you'll notice that Twilight Sparkle was in her pony form from the first couple seasons. Spoiler alert, she eventually becomes an alicorn, but alicorn version will eventually come. So yeah, we're going to see different versions of these characters at different stages in their career. Is career the
lives, you know.
All right. So we've gone over a couple of different cards in the main deck, and we saw a move as a interesting currency. So let's talk about some of these locations.
Yep. So you'll all start out at Ponyville Town Square. This is the main location that you'll be going throughout Ponyville from. There are several icons and things that you could do on this card. So for example, it does cost 1 move to go back into Ponyville Town Square if you started at another location. And each of the tasks have a little repeatable icon, meaning that you could do that task over and over again without spending a task token on them. You can only do that once per turn on your turn, and you can either manipulate your sugar cube colors with the top task. You can get rid of cards to make your deck more efficient with the middle task by paying info, and you can gain resource tokens. Now, resource tokens by paying 3 help to gain one of these tokens. Normally, currencies, just like in deck builders, if you pay them, you use them, but if you don't use them, you lose them, right? So resource tokens allow you to generate currencies that you roll over. So for example, if I had a bunch of resource tokens that, oh my gosh, I really want to buy this ultra expensive card. Spoiler alert, Princess Celestia is an ultra expensive card. If you don't naturally draw the required help in order to buy her, these resource tokens will be allow you to help towards that. They specify that you can gain 2 help, 2 info, or 2 move, but if you're really in a pinch, you could be less efficient with them, and when you flip them over, each one of them has a 1 wild resource on it. So there's a little bit of flexibility there if you really need them. And again, task tokens will cover the tasks at locations that don't have one of these repeatable signs. So ultimately, you want to be able to do these when the time is right.
Yeah, so this is just one location, and as you set up the game, there's going to be a total of 4 locations out. Ponyville Town Square is just always going to be there. That's always just going to be a easy, safe place to return to. But we've got a bunch of locations in this game, iconic ones such as going to the Cloud Condo, Sweet Apple Acre, or Sweet Apple Orchard, and the Golden Oaks Library. But let's show something a little spicy here. This is the Castle of the Two Sisters. Break it down for us, Chris.
Exactly. So Castle of the Two Sisters, it costs 3 move to go to. So you can use that from your cards. You can use your resource tokens, or spoiler alerts, there are some character ability in cards that allow you to move quite easily. They show 3 different tasks, and each one of them can only be done once during the course of the game. And then you have to cover up with a task token. So you could pay 2 help to gain a pink sugar cube. You can exchange up to 2 sugar cubes for sugar cubes from the supply, meaning that you can add more flexibility if you really need a certain color. And then you could pay 6 help to gain 3 sugar cubes. Now, normally sugar cubes are really hard to get from cards, locations, but here is a one-stop shop where you can get 3 right off the bat. There is a little bit bonus though. If you collect artifacts, which we haven't shown because we wanted to save for the live stream, right, of the gameplay, artifacts are really super awesome cards. I won't spoil it, but both Twilight Sparkle and Castle of the Two Sisters do benefit from you getting artifacts. So keep those in mind as well.
Yeah, so just for reference as well, to get a sense of scale, move is a little bit harder to come by in this game. And so most locations will take maybe 1 or 2 move to get to. The Castle of the Two Sisters, it was a whole episode dedicated to literally just traveling to this place. So the castle costs 3 to get to. So some of the more difficult or valuable locations are going to take a little bit more effort to get to. But if you do get there, man, you can probably have a really good payout there.
Exactly.
There was a question in chat, if I can pop in. They were asking if this is a soloable deck building game.
This is soloable. It is.
Mm-hmm.
So
Ponies
that's
out there. Ponies out there.
Yeah.
It is really hard playing chess games. One of the phrases was yeah, the recurring theme is that you always need your friends. So while you can do it solo, it's challenging. I wish you the best of luck.
There are some cards that when you're familiar with the game, you can play with situation cards. We don't recommend you play with those until you beat the game once or twice. If you are playing solo mode, which I haven't played myself yet, do leave those out just until you're ready, and then you can sneak those in. But before that, definitely give yourself a few games to get yourself familiar with the game, and then challenge yourself then.
Yeah, most definitely. So yeah, that's a very brief rundown of like the game and some of the components and cards that you're going to come across in our live play. After this stream, you will watch Chris and friends play through a game of Adventures in Equestria, and you can see all of the exciting little pieces and movement that has to go on here. This game is up for pre-order right now on our website, so please go check that out. And a pre-order bonus for this is meeples. So normally your characters are on just in the base game. Your characters are on little cardboard standees, but if you pre-order, you'll get a meeple pack of all your favorite meeples.
What are they made out of?
These are nice chunky bits of wood. So I mean, I could have gigantic thumbs, or I could have like little tiny thumbs. But for reference, here's the nice chunky thickness of this meeple. It is nice and easy, nice and big to grab. But you'll get one for each character in your pre-order bonus. So yeah, we've got Twilight, we've got Applejack, we've got Pinkie Pie, and all the rest of the main six. So I'm very excited. I love meeples. I like the cute factor of being able to hop these around on all of your different locations is gonna be awesome. So I think that's all that we have for the deck building game. Trivia.
Hello, it's time to talk about RPGs. I'm so excited because we've said very little about the My Little Pony role-playing game. So it's time. And also, if somebody could please put the pre-order link for the deck building game and the core rulebook into the chat, that would be amazing. So yes, we are bringing a role-playing game for My Little Pony. It is in the Essence 20 system. So if you already know about the Essence 20 system from our Power Rangers, Transformers, G.I. Joe information, then this is the same system, but it's going to be for My Little Pony. So if I could have the next slide, please. This is the reveal of the cover for the tabletop game. So this is the core rulebook. This will contain everything that you need in order to head to Equestria and start running games for your friends. You will make your own My Little Pony character. And so I don't want to assume that people know about Essence 20, so I'll give a quick little breakdown. If you're familiar with tabletop role-playing games, it's a D20 system. So if you've played other D20 systems, should seem familiar, but it is a unique game system. So you are going to choose your origin. So you get to choose, are you an Earth pony? Are you a Pegasus? Or are you a unicorn? Earth ponies are, strong. They're stalwart. Pegasus obviously have the power of flight, and unicorns start with magic. So the new system that we're introducing in for the role-playing game is magic. And it's going to be an entirely separate system from, you know, your standard skill rolls, but you research spells, you learn spells. I don't want to get too into it because I'll go down a rabbit hole, but yes, there's magic and you learn it and it's friendship. So after you choose your origin, you're also going to choose your influence. So those are going to be maybe your hobbies or your personality or what you like to do. So for example, maybe you're a bookworm like Twilight and you just can't not be in a library. Maybe you are a crowd pleaser like DJ Pony or Vinyl Scratch, however you prefer. And then you love to perform, you love to be there for a crowd. And so with influences, you start out with one, totally great. If you want to take extra ones and get some additional bonuses to different skills, you'll also get a hang up. So maybe you choose bookworm and crowd pleaser, but with crowd pleaser, maybe you like to perform a little too much and it can be distracting if you have the opportunity to get on stage, right? So then the last thing that you'll choose is your role. And so people have been asking about this a lot because they wanted to know what's the you know, base system for the type of character that I'm playing. And so the roles are going to be based on the elements of friendship. So you can be a honesty pony or a loyalty pony. And of course, we have magic ponies. So that will give you your base stats. You have special powers and abilities that you can do depending on your role. And so that is how you'll advance your character, is through each of the, or through your particular element of harmony. And so in this book, there will be everything you need to make a character. There will be a list of locations across Equestria with information on what you can find there. There's also a chapter called Friends and Foes, because a lot of the other games, you know, you're like, oh, this is a threat. I definitely have to fight this and defeat it. But we know that's not how it works in My Little Pony. Like a foe is a friend you haven't made yet. So there are a good spread of different kind of creatures you can encounter, like anyone from Princess Celestia to Nightmare Moon. So those are all there for you. And then we also have a first level adventure that is ready for you to play. So you can introduce your characters or the characters your friends make into the world in the first book. I'm checking comments real quick. So the book is absolutely Friendship is Magic. We're in Equestria. You know, maybe you'll meet the main six or any of your fan favorites from the show. And this is going to be a continuing line of games. So we have a bunch more books in development. So if you haven't seen your favorite yet, we will give you more information with the new books that are coming. Sorry. So the next slide, if you please, along with the core rule book. Oh yeah, here is actually an art piece from the core rulebook. So we've got beautiful art from Lana Suvani and Mary Bellamy, who have both worked on the comics, and the art inside is just beautiful. I can't show any more, but I did want to give at least a little sneak peek of the type of art that'll be in that book.
That's so freaking cute.
Yes.
Don't see how cute that is.
Yes, so we're just taking a little time in Sugar Cube Corner. Twilight's writing down Pinkie Pie's recipe, and Angel is, of course, refusing his carrot because why would he ever make it easy on Fluttershy for him to get his vitamins? Awesome. And then next slide, pretty please. We'll also have a deluxe version of this rule book. So the interior is still the same. If you've seen our other deluxe books from the RPG, it's going to have like a beautiful like linen finish cover with a hologram foil on this one. So we don't have a example of it yet, but I can't wait to show you. It's so sparkly and amazing. So next slide, pretty please. You can also now pre-order the In a Jam Adventure and GM screen. And so that will have a beautiful full color GM screen for your table. On the back side of that will be quick reference tables. So if you're at the table and you're like, oh, what do I have people roll to jump? It's all right there for you. And then the adventure is in a jam. And so people that are familiar might guess that maybe that takes place or deals with the jam preparation down at Sweet Apple Acres. And it sounds like something's happened. Oh no. So we'll give you more information down the line. But so that is coming. And the next slide, please. And so, okay, I am so excited about the dice. We have custom dice. They are rainbow. They are sparkly. They are filled with glitter. And so with the Essence 20 dice, the highest value is an icon or an element that's important to the game, right? So all of them are going to have that star. Not to say that Twilight is the most important pony, but everyone knows that star, right? So you get the beautiful star that shows that it's the highest number on the die. And then for the D2, which is a coin, we've got the whole of the main 6. So these are up for pre-order now. I don't have a date on when they'll actually be here with all the shipping complications that we've got, but these are going to be so amazing. I can't wait to hold them in my hands. And next slide, please. To hold these beautiful dice, of course, we have a dice bag. So you can keep all of your dice with the main 6. And next slide. We've talked about this in some of the other panels as well, but we have a character journal coming for My Little Pony. And so our character journals are a like extended version of the character sheet that will be included in the core book, but it comes with more prompts for building out your character. So it'll have, where was I born in Equestria? Like, what's my family like? Who are my friends? Like, what do I like to do in my free time? And it just gives you all of these prompts to really like develop and build out your character. So these are 80 pages. It's about half character building and half like session notes. So as you're playing, you can write down who did you meet? Where did you meet them? What did you find? And just have this log of your whole game with your character. So I don't have previews for the next things, but I can talk to you about them. So the first expansion, I suppose, that we have, or the first release after the core rule book, is going to be an adventure book, and it is Dark Skies over Equestria is the name of the adventure. So this will be in line with the adventures that we've been releasing for other games, where it's going to be a 4-part adventure. It should take your characters from levels about 1 to 5, 1 to 6, and you will go through a adventure all across Equestria. I don't want to give anything away quite yet until we can, maybe show off the cover and everything like that. But I am super excited. It's going to be a blast going through this adventure. I am checking to see if there are any other questions. So I see, can we play the main 6? The main 6 are going to be included sort of as NPCs in adventures and such, like you can meet them, but that doesn't stop anyone from switching those NPCs, you make the main 6. If that's what you want to play with your table, we won't stop you. So
Yeah, I mean, like we've totally had situations of just, like time travel characters interacting with each other. So, what weird cloning magical shenanigans can you get into? That's up to you to figure out.
absolutely. And let me see if there's anything else that I missed in the chat. So yes, this is a full RPG that we are creating and developing and will be supporting throughout 2022 and beyond. We have a lot of plans for future books, and I, as somebody who's loved My Little Pony for 30 plus years, I can't wait to like dive into Ponyville and get in here. Yes, so there we go. That is all of my notes. Thank you, Angel Bunny. Yeah, so after this panel, we have a live play of the deck building game, so you must stick around.
Check that out.
Yes, and thank you so much. Please join our Discord group and our Facebook groups. I've been trying to get into the Discord to answer questions. A lot of our writers are in the Discord and asking questions or answering questions. So if you have questions about the game, please feel free and I will answer anything that I can. Will there be playable races beyond the main 3? There are more books in development, is what I will say. So to quote President Scott, just wait and we'll have more for you. But we wanted to cover just what's coming out this year so far. So this year we've got the core rulebook with the deluxe, the In a Jam adventure and GM screen, the dice bag, the character journal, and an adventure book. So we will.
Is that it?
Oh yeah, that's all. That's all.
Okay, yeah. Wow, that's a lot.
So we're here for you, ponies. That's a great question. What is the youngest age a player will be able to learn this game? So the game is rated at 14 plus. So it's meant to be more of a not adult game, but like there's math, more than not math. So it's something where a kid that is good at arithmetic and whatnot will probably be fine, but it's not necessarily scaled down to work for very young kids. Can we use the meeples in the RPG? I don't see why not.
You do you, okay?
Yes.
Once you get them, these are your meeples. This one is mine. My meeples. But once you get your meeples, you use them for whatever you want.
Yes, and for the writers, so the writers for this are Ryan Costello, who also worked on our G.I. Joe and has helped with Transformers, Elisa Teague, and also yours truly with some of my writing debut. So I can't wait to hear how everyone likes it for so many reasons. And let's see. I think I have answered all of the questions.
Yeah.
I should say, we've talked about accessory packs in previous panels. That's something that we'll also be doing for the RPG. So we will be releasing accessory packs with standees to have at your table, and printed maps to have at your table, and stat cards to have at your table. So that'll all come in a box available in the future. But so that is also in development. And there we go. Now I'm done.
Very exciting. Thank you, Trivia. Yeah, again, after this, we've got our live play of My Little Pony Adventures in Equestria deck building game. Please go check that out if you're really interested in seeing how that whole game system works. I know we did a rapid fire Rainbow Dash paste overview of like all the cards and how everything works. So yeah, if you're looking for something a little bit more in depth, please check that out. And thank you for watching our My Little Pony preview stream.
Yes. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.